Game number 5. Finally going down. Whoa. This is all going in. Alright, so this is Brian versus Ryan, or as I've coined it, unbeknownst to both of them, the Bri v Rye battle of the century. We've got Crusader, Hammer and Anvil. The awesome flaming objectives are set up thusly. Here we have the Tau battle line. They've landed on the planet late. They're coming to the battle late, and they fell right on top of a moving, patrolling Black Templar squad who's mobilizing to take action against the newcomers here. 6. That was a weird wave in my voice. I was like, newcomers.
Did you eat dinner?
Scary. I don't know. Hypoglycemic. I don't know. I'm not really. Don't worry about it.
Diabetic.
Yep. So we got
Gluten-free.
gluten-free. So we got 6 Fire Warriors set up here. 6 Fire Warriors set up here. I don't know why this guy's so far away. He's probably supposed to be there. Weird. And the Ethereal. And then over here in this corner, we've got 6 more Fire Warriors mobilized with some line of sight on that building. There we go. And the
It should
snipers.
be noted that this is for display purposes. These guys are, of course, in the Rhino.
Oh, yes.
The Rhino is outflanking. So
That's
he's
right.
in reserves right now.
So we rolled, actually that's a good point. So Warlord traits, Ryan rolled what did you roll? Number 3, I think, for Warlord traits. Or was it 4? Yeah, so it was the one where it's the one use only, and after a squad goes to ground, they can ignore it. Basically, the next turn they can stand up and move and shoot and charge as normal. And then Ryan's group here, they rolled a 3 on the personal traits in the BRB and got the outflanking. One of my personal favorites because I use Mephiston, and it's fun to outflank with Mephiston, but that crew was just there for display purposes to show off kind of everything together. What's actually on the table is this land speeder, which is actually there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then this hidden crew of snipers. We have really camouflaged snipers in this game. Is that Ollie's?
To be fair, when he painted these up, he didn't do any like hard edging. There's not a lot of like.
Right.
It's very base. These are all base. There's no highlighting going on.
They work well for camouflage.
Oh, but they do.
So there we go. That's we'll come back at you top of turn 2 after we start rolling some dice here. We're actually doing, I don't know if this was mentioned, Ryan's actually coming at us virtually. We're doing a Skype/FaceTime battle report. So we're using FaceTime on the iPhone to show dice rolls and show kind of a micro version, show him a micro version of the table as it's going down so he can get some detail. And then we're actually using the iPad with Skype on it to get like an overview of the whole battlefield. So it's kind of interesting. And then I'm actually being the proxy for him. So it's almost like Brian is playing against a real person.
This game is brought to you by Apple.
And real people. Apple. All right. Coming at you top of turn 2. All right, top of turn 2, we had some stuff happen. Brian, actually, you want to take me through what you did?
Sure. All I did was move my land speeder flat out 18 inches over behind these pillars of God.
Woo!
As the natives call them.
The native of this Xenos planet.
And everything else was out of range, so due to night fighting.
Yep, so these guys were barely out of range. And then, actually, we could probably have Ryan narrate what goes on. Ryan, you want to kind of explain what happened here?
Yes, I moved one squad of 6 fire warriors up 6 inches, and I fired at the scouts, but failed miserably to penetrate their cover.
Yep, 2 up cover from the night fighting and their scout, their camo cloaks and the 4 up cover that they were already in. And that was basically the top, the entirety of turn 1. Nothing died. A couple of shots were taken, kind of like the first shots of the war.
Yes.
The shot heard around the world. All right, there we go. Top of turn 3 coming up. All right, I swear to God, I'm gonna get the numbers right this time. My last battle report was abysmal with counting. This is the top of turn 3. We just completed the second turn. Actually, we'll start with Brian because he went first.
Well, I
What happened
shot
here?
everything.
Ping, ping.
The scouts didn't do jack diddly squat against the forward squad of fire warriors here.
Yeah, they got some stuff. We'll touch on that when we get to Ryan's side. What happened to them?
No hits. And then I shot with the land speeder.
Oh, you also moved the land speeder. I think it was here last time.
I did. I moved the land speeder from here all the way over there, and I fired
Cruising.
the missiles.
Fire the missiles.
Fired the missiles and the heavy bolter at that squad, and I killed 2.
Well, my camera went into like seizure mode. Come on, wake up. There we go. So shot at these guys. They were actually back ways, but they fired at them when they were still here. And then Ryan rolled like a mama panther protecting her baby panther cubs.
Yes.
Kittens. I don't know.
Stellar rolls all around.
Yeah, that analogy was kind of a swing and a miss. I apologize. Actually, I don't. That was epic. I never apologize for my awesome analogies. All right, so Ryan, what happened on your turn?
Okay, so my Tau Fire Warriors moved down into the river.
Yep.
Tau Fire Warrior group of 3 moved down into the river, and turned out it was a mysterious river. And I ended up rolling a 6. We got this some sort of ice, I don't know.
Yeah, Ice Blood.
But,
Ice Blood. So when you move into Ice Blood, you take a dangerous terrain test, and then you re-roll your armor saves. Actually, now that I think about it,
can't complain. I
might have been able to re-roll his armor save on the.
I did took a shot at the
I don't know.
snipers and killed 2 of them.
Yeah, so the 3 that moved into the river then shot at the snipers in the building and scythed down 3 baby Marines.
2
in their prime. 2 Marines.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then Ethereal squad of fire warriors with the Ethereal tried to run forward, but the terrain was too difficult. So
yeah, they started like there-ish and then moved up there and then tried to run and rolled a 1 and kind of just stopped there. By the way, I'm holding the camera at this weird angle. That way you can hear Ryan because he's attached to the wall through my phone right now. So that's why.
Held him up like Jesus.
We did. Well, crucifixion talk. I don't know if that's a thing, but
that's grim dark, baby.
It's grim dark. There you go. So that's what happened. Those guys. Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. Brian. All right. Those Tau there also. They tried to move forward but didn't roll very good and decided to stay put as well. I don't know if Ryan touched on that. So all right. Going into turn 3, it's going to be epic. Things are getting in range.
All right, so I'm going to do reserves. And they come in.
Bam. Reserves.
So, because it is outflanking, I need to roll another dice.
Okay, here we are. I'm just going to narrate because Brian stepped out and I wanted to get a close-up of what's happening here, so I'll narrate for Ryan as well. If that's all right, Ryan?
that's fine.
All right, so...
I'll get something to drink too.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so here we are at the bottom of turn 3. Lots of stuff happened in this turn, as things are usually ramping up in by turn 3. So the things that happened. All right, we go to Brian's turn. He ran down here. He he moved down here. He's retreating. He did basically his damage with the snipers. So he did his difficult terrain, got a 6, and then later on ran them down this way. They're just kind of chilling until the fight's over or until he can draw a good bead. The land speeder moved from here back, and then shot at the fire warrior squad here, killing them because he has a clear line of sight to them. Even though I can't see, there it is. So he had clear line of sight to the fire warriors hanging out in this river, and he's got AP3 and AP4 shots. So he scythed into those guys and killed them off. And then he rolled to outflank, got a 6, so he chose this side right behind the fire warriors that were here. Moved on with his Rhino, backed in, let the attack Marines out here. They're modeled with swords, but they actually have bolt guns for this 250 point game. So they walked up here within their 6-inch bubble, moved in, shot into those fire warriors who were exposed back here behind the line, killed 2 guys. And then at the end of Brian's turn, the fire warriors failed their leadership on being 6 strong. They needed to test after losing those 2 dudes. They failed on an 11 and ran here. And then on Ryan's turn, he rolled another 11, I think, for leadership, and continued to roll back 9 inches. So they're barely hanging on here. He's got, in his turn, if they survive, they'll have 1 chance left to make leadership or run off the table. All right, and then the full strength squad here rolled a 5. They were standing here before, here on this ledge and on this ledge, seeing the snipers kind of run off and the land speeder become not a viable target, being so far away. The fire warriors decided to roll back to this objective, hang out here on this objective, and fire at the Marines over here with their rapid fire long range shots. And they ended up killing a guy, I believe. Yeah, they killed a guy out of the squad from their shots here. And then these guys rapid fired, got a couple of 6s to hit. They did their snapshots, which you can do when you're falling back. Got a couple 6s to hit and then whiffed on the wounds. And that was the extent of turn 3. We're going into turn 4 now. Probably going to be some more dead dudes. We'll see you then.
My games are going to be brutal.
It's going to be so exciting. All right, so here we are at the bottom of turn 4. There are less things on the table actively. All right, let's go ahead and take it from your end, Brian. What happened?
Oh, yes. So at first I couldn't decide what I wanted to do, but in the end I decided I wanted to tank shock the last of the fire warriors, and I did. And because they were falling back already, they automatically failed their morale.
Yep.
And dipped out.
They were like right here, so even a Snake Eyes would have brought them off the table. So they pieced out.
My Crusader squad here, just playing the safe game, just
hiding.
ran here and hid. And
they were here, and after the Rhino move, they moved back this way to hide from the scary fire woos over there.
They are. All right.
They're hanging out there with their crazy rifles.
My scouts moved and ran, and
yep, more running here.
This guy scooted over a couple inches and shot off his missiles, and they both totally missed the backboard.
Shot at this squad here, and scattered. One went like crazy over here, and the other one started. They actually were both originated here. One of them went this way, the other one went right there. So missed both there. Lucky for the fire warriors, who currently only had a 5-up cover save to save them from that. So, all right. And Ryan, what did you do?
Can you go over it for me?
Yeah, I can narrate it for you. It's probably a smarter idea anyway. All right, so Ryan, he moved, or no, he didn't actually move. All Ryan did was shot this squad in, or at the side of the Rhino here. He was within like 24 inches, I think, so he got full, the one shot, full range. He hit like 4 out of 6 times, and then got no 6s. So that Rhino is still healthy, and that was pretty much all he could do because this squad ran off the board, and the other squad died in the Ice Blood River. Probably a pretty terrible death, getting like frostbite and getting shot at.
Titanic all over again.
Yeah, it's like, you know, when like, exactly, like, because you gotta know, like, when they're like flailing in the frozen water, you know, when you're freezing cold and you're like walking home from work or whatever and it's freezing cold outside and your ears are numb, and then like you just like imagine someone coming up and like boxing your ears, and that would be like the worst pain in the world when you're frozen.
Yes.
That's basically what happened to the Fire Warriors. So, only they got boxed with bullets.
That's brutal.
Yeah, that's nasty. All right, so we're going into turn 5, potentially the last turn. Big question mark, maybe?
Maybe.
We'll see. All right. Okay, so turn 5 was pretty short. In fact, I'm just going to narrate it really quick so we can get to the shake. But basically, in Brian's turn, he had the snipers here. He ran forward 5, got him about here-ish, and then he, in the shooting phase, he ran another 5 inches and grabbed that objective. So that's giving him an objective. The land speeder fired off a couple of missiles again and whiffed. That land speeder needs to go back to school. Needs to spend some time on the firing range. Get out of here. The attack marines back here stayed put because they're in a safe position, and they're also they're assisting in the line breaker. So Brian also has line breaker at this point. And then the snipers, was it the snipers? No, it was the land speeder earlier in the game. That's where all of his firing practice went into, was killing the squad that was here.
Yeah.
So the land speeder finished off this squad here and got first blood from that. So he basically, in his turn, moved the snipers up to claim that objective over there, and then kind of just hid. He Tokyo drifted the Rhino from here, hiding it right back there.
Right back here.
Yep, to get out of the, just to add insult to injury so the Fire Warriors couldn't even fire at the Rhino. And then in Ryan's turn, realizing that even if he moved, he couldn't reach out and touch the Rhino because he was behind that pillar pretty squarely. There's no window in that building, so he can't see the tac squad. And even if he was able to kill one of these 2 units, the other one would still exist, which would still be breaking the line, which would give him that victory point anyway. He's out of range here to do anything meaningful to these snipers up here, and again, because of line breaker and first blood, it wouldn't have mattered. Anyway, you're starting to get the picture. There's really nothing the Tau force could do to take the victory away from this last turn, so Ryan at that point conceded. It was a really good game, especially for our first time doing a Skype battle. It was particularly bloody. I think the bloodiest game out of the 5, so that's really cool. A lot of things died. Here's Ryan's kill pile. Blah! At 250 points, that's pretty epic. And then Brian lost a couple of scouts back there. They were at 5, and then he also lost attack marine here. So that's blood was shed on both sides. I think the Tau probably took the brunt of the hurt. But yeah, there was murder on both sides, and now we're going to do the shake. And this is going to be the first time ever anyone's ever tried something so pompous.
This is ridiculous.
So here we go. We're going to try to do a virtual handshake. Ryan, there you go. There's his hand. Yay! Yeah. Virtual handshake.
GG.
GG.
It was alright.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Game off.